It's still hard to believe because I think people associate Montgomery with the civil rights movement. Of course, this is where the bus boycott took place. This is really where it got its start. And there was so much of a you there was so much cohesion. I mean, 381 days.
Okay.
People did not ride that bus, knowing they could lose their jobs, they could lose their
But
lives.
you got to look at people that was ride the bus. Number one, they were not the principal of this school or that school, or they were not the this or that in the education structure that time. They was probably persons that um,
That were
most of
cooks and
and
cleaned
they
out
was
the
yeah.
plantations, you know.
And then the thing that happened, it became a national movement.
Hmm.
And the main thing that happened, um, if you look at the success of any successful movement, there's always some tragedy associated with it. The tragedy that, and probably if Emmett Till had not been killed,
Hmm.
the movement probably not been successful. But you had people that was mad all over the United States
Absolutely.
because he got killed, the summer before the boycott.
Hmm.
And so his death really fueled the success. And then people, then actually, Dr. King came in, he was a new face.
Hmm.
And he did not grow up in this black-white structure that they have here in Montgomery
Hmm.
because he was outside.
Hmm.
And ultimately, as most people, that what most people don't realize is that after the success of the bus boycott, they got him on out of
Hmm.
here.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
and but that was the main thing. It was the class of participants in the bus boycott were not this hierarchy of black rulership.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, let's just say that that's probably the majority. Would you say that that's the majority of the population, not the
It's not the
executives?
talent of the team.
So would you say that the majority of the black Montgomery population is that type of
Is the average person.
the average
It's
person?
not. And unfortunately, you have a situation where people kind of mirror their actions according to someone that they come into.
Sure.
Yeah.
Environment is everything. I
Yeah.
mean, sure.
So even though, but it's just even with the success of many other initiatives, and the bus boycott was really the first one, but you
Hmm.
had others that were landmark decisions. For instance, the most important, probably, one of the most important, was New York Times versus Sunday.
Hmm.
That's a world standard today.
Hmm.
That's the freedom of speech.
Hmm.
That's a Montgomery case.
Hmm.
You know, its 50th anniversary was last year.
Hmm.
There was not one thing in print
You gotta be
that
kidding
this
me.
was the 50th year anniversary of the New York Times versus Sunday.
Hmm. Wow.
There's not one line in your local paper.
Okay.
And the sad thing about it, the average person in Montgomery today don't know anything about it, don't know what significance it is,
Hmm.
because the structure of where people, when we talking about the people that control the city, they chose to ignore it because number one, they never thought the Supreme Court
Hmm.
was going to rule the way that it did.
Right.
And when they had the first case on the local level, naturally on the circuit level, the city of Montgomery, well, it was Sullivan was police commissioner,
Yes.
and they won.
Hmm.
Not only they won, they got a $500,000 judgment against people like Dr. Ralph Abernathy, Dr. Lyon, Joe Lyon, Shuttlesworth, Solomon Safe, and all these folks. They actually took their cars in 1960, and they actually took property from these people. And the ruling did not come down until 1964. And that's when someone finally got the cars back. And finally got the property back. But since that time, it's just like this is some deep, dark secret that nobody even acknowledges hardly. That, this is one other case.
Monumental.
As big as you get.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you have these other cases like that one was in '60. Basically, it was driven by the lunch counter sit-ins in the Montgomery courthouse. But this was the time, that the lunch counter sit-ins were happening, in North Carolina and different places. And then the very next year in '61, you had the Freedom Riders. They come through. You can, Lewis versus Greyhound. You had the rights on the Civil Rights Act, just the general public accommodations, and then this comes up and says, yeah, we got the right to vote, but you don't have the right to eat. The restaurants inside the bus stations. So Congressman John Lewis was the lead plaintiff in that case. So he'll never one of these.
Monumental.
And then I guess the last one would be the Voters' Rights Act of 1969. Alabama Montgomery again. Now, the unfortunate thing is that they're like the death of Emmett Till. When you go down the line on some of these others, when these decisions, finally came forward. Because in 1963, you still had all these people was hanging out there with the lost their cars and everything. And so after everybody called I Had the Dream March in 1963. Everybody was, there's a lot of times like here your car gone out for 3 years. But anyway, okay, that's August 28, 1963. September 15, 1963. Goes off in Birmingham.
Yes.
So now, you get everybody's attention in November 63. Kill the president. So then you start getting some legislation, Civil Rights Act of 64. Ultimately, leading up at 63, comes 64, summer 64. 4 folks get killed in Philadelphia, Mississippi. So everybody really pushing, we really got to do something, And then in the following February 65, Jimmy D. Jackson was killed. I tell people all the time, yes, the average person, why are everybody on the bridges on Bloody Sunday? If Jimmy D. Jackson had not gotten killed, there would have been about on the bridges.
And I think that the killer who was finally tried, 40 years after, 45 years after, his death, he just recently passed away.
So, it's unfortunate, but normally there's a major tragedy that precedes any progress. But even with all of that, that was the spark that created the march, because the concept was, because the people said, well, look, we're going to take Jimmy D. Jackson's casket all the way to Montgomery. They were going to put it on the steps of the bus. And tell me not going to wait any longer for our thing. You know, that's why folks was on the bridge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, even after that, on the last, you know, the day of the speech at the Alabama State Capitol, Barbara Russo was killed.
Yes.
That afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's back up. The Tuesday after the bridge crossing, was a Bloody Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
there was a white priest, Jonathan Reed.
Mm-hmm.
He killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
Then after, you know, so that's Jackson, Reed, and then Livingston. And then you had Jonathan Daniels there. He decided to hang back and help with the voter registration.
Mm-hmm.
And he was killed
Mm-hmm.
in Lowndes County.
Mm-hmm.
So he had 4 deaths
Mm-hmm.
that was interwoven into just that cause.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, the history is just so astounding sometimes. I mean,
But you see what people, they miss, they get into what all these folks, they march and say, but these folks, with the exception of folks, you know, like those of us that were students and that type of thing, and those
yes.
were people that came into the other states, they were not the people out there. Most of the people chose to ignore that this was actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to take an inventory, you know, probably 90% of the people are not even know about it.
Well, you know what, that